Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. We are the Mile High Property Brothers. Today, diving right into it, we'll be talking about where to find acreage in Colorado. Now, why is this important before we even get into this? Because we talk about it all the time. We talk to you guys about how Colorado is not full and how we are still so unincorporated, but do we ever really show you guys all the opportunities when it comes to having a home on acreage? And it's still being pretty close to the darn city, believe it or not. But either way, we're gonna dive into it and show you guys exactly where you should be if you're gonna be looking for acreage.
All right, let's check it out. So we are super excited for this particular video because as much as we've talked about Colorado being not fully developed, plenty of places to grow and expand, one of the things we've also talked about is how, hey, for the majority of homes that are out here, don't expect to find homes that just come with acreages all over the place. Correct. We have a lot of people that are moving out here from the Midwest and down south, and it's almost completely normal to have 1 to 3 acres out there. Then you come to Colorado and you find that almost all the homes out here in these traditional neighborhoods are gonna be anywhere from 1/4 to maybe 3/4 of an acre on the big side.
Correct. And if you're coming from a more populated state than Colorado, you're also maybe impressed with some of those lots because California, Chicago, some of these places don't have any of it. So depending on where you're coming from, it's just gonna be subjective to your opinion. But either way, what we wanna talk about today is just, this is incorporated, it's just by design and it's acreage. Now, this is not the only place that you can find this, but this is definitely one of the places that still has plenty of space, plenty of upcoming developments in the next year to 2 years.
Oh yeah.
So if there is a place to look first, it's probably these 2 areas we're talking about today.
All right, now where are we talking about? Well, right now we are in my hometown, a place we have never once featured on the channel.
Is it your hometown?
Elizabeth, Colorado.
He's so loose with words because hometown would be the assumption that like he's from there versus lives there. He's from somewhere else. I'm the native. He's been here for 25 years.
That's right. That's
25?
right. Something like that.
Out of 38,
like
37 of them.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so it's not his hometown. It's just his local where he lives.
The town where my home is located is right where we're at now, Elizabeth, Colorado. And if we're being accurate, we're in the Fox Hill neighborhood. And we'll get into this neighborhood and this home, this gorgeous home that we're going to feature, which we're going to check out here in just a little bit. Now, technically, Fox Hill is located in Franktown, okay? But if you go 20 feet that way, you're in Elizabeth. You go 20 feet that way, you're in Franktown.
And the reason why we're going to show you guys both is because it literally is just a street that divides the two. But what we want to show you guys, what's more important, is just the opportunities that you have with just different developments and what's to come, and currently what's here right now.
Now, the reason we wanted to get out here to Fox Hill, this is one of our absolute favorite neighborhoods for a couple of reasons. Number one being it's one of the few places where you can find acreage from anywhere from 3 to 5 acres on average out here. They're mostly gonna fall around that 2.5 to maybe 4 range. And on top of that, the homes that are out here are absolutely stunning, and it's a style that hasn't been in Colorado very long. This contemporary, modern, mountain modern style of build, which you guys have already seen in the drone footage.
It's also important to just highlight what you guys can do with the acreage, right? So not just that you got 5 acres out here, 3 acres out here, they're allowing you to have secondary buildings where you can have a bar, a gym, a 35 car garage, whatever that looks like. You're able to have an entire second building on your property. If you have a mother-in-law little live-in thing that's got 2 bedrooms and a kitchen and whatever you like, and they're like, that's really cool. If you want your RV out here, that's cool. You've got a lot of like horse stables that are out here. Some of them allow it on your personal property. Some of it have it on like a centralized part of the entire development, and then you'll just rent some space from there. But it supports your entire lifestyle when it comes to why do people want acreage in the first place, right? So it's not just that you have it and that it's beautiful, it's how you can use it that just allows the lifestyle and the flexibility for what you're looking for and why you probably want it in the first place. Sneaking this in and letting you guys know before we get to our next point, yes, we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we will love more to help you with those real estate needs. So that number that's still below, we are the guys who answer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. So if we can help you, we would love to. But that being said, let's get to our next point.
Now, I'm really glad he used the word lifestyle because that is a huge reason why people come out here and they want acreage. However, with the exception of this neighborhood, one thing that you might run into is, you know, kind of like in my neighborhood where I live, you know, we have a good, like, nice home, right? But then a lot of our neighbors have 15 cars in there, and maybe some have some cows or some barns that are just run down and not maybe taken care of the most. There's no HOA, you can't really do anything about it, but the lots are so big, it doesn't really bother you that much. However, out here in Fox Hill, it's the best of both worlds. They allow the RVs, the outbuildings, all the things you would want to move to the country
But there's still an HOA, and there's
Yes.
still things that govern it and making sure that it's
Yes.
appropriate. So it's like this hybrid, like you would say, the best of both worlds. And yes, we've seen HOA docs out here. We've had a couple of clients move out here already. We're also great friends with Paige, who's one of the main ladies that's out here. Does a phenomenal job. She's probably one of the best people I've ever met when it comes to her knowledge on the area that she's an expertise in, right? So we've helped several clients, but she does a great job. But either way, you kind of want that HOA to be in place and make sure that just everything is how it should be when it comes to nip tuck.
Oh, yeah.
I know some people don't like HOAs, but from our experience, as far as like the nightmare HOAs, this is not one of them.
No, and especially when you're out here and these homes are all sitting right around 2 million. Now, what's awesome about that is I've seen some of these similar homes out in, like Castle Pines, where you don't have acreage, you have a smaller lot, but maybe you've got this style of home, but you're gonna pay $4 and $5 million out there for one of these. Out here, you're looking right around 2 to 2.2, and for the types of home that you get in the community that you're in, on the size of lots that you get, you can't beat it.
For example, the community you're in, like, whoa, what does that mean? Let me tell you, there's a farm here.
There is.
And the farm
There is.
feeds the neighborhood. They literally will deliver poultry,
produce.
eggs, milk to your front door
Yep.
based off of what you want to order and what you would like. And they do that weekly. It's amazing. It's the
They
kitchen.
call it farm to table living.
Farm to table living, right? Like super rare. I bet it's gonna become more common with like these isolated type of like areas that are just on the outskirts. Because just giving you guys some details, we're probably 45 minutes from downtown Denver.
With no traffic, yes.
Not bad to have all of this, and you get to have a farm that's central to this community, and it feeds this community. Like amazing, right? Where else do you find that?
It really is. That's the other caveat to this place is that
Great word.
you like that? Yeah. The other caveat to living here is that you do have that sense of community. Again, you go in my neighborhood, you don't have that. Everyone keeps to themselves, and you don't really meet your neighbors unless you cross paths, get in the mail. Out here, there's as much involvement as you would like. Or go ahead.
To be fair,
go ahead.
Look, a live look at Eli's neighbors right here.
Foosball. You playing the foosball behind my back?
Friendly. Friendly, rough around the
Very,
edges.
very.
However, friendly would give their shirt off their back.
That's right. I think I'm that neighbor, actually. I think I'm the guy out there. But our neighbors have chickens and goats, and it's fun, right? But people do their thing.
Right.
Out here, you can still just do your thing and stay to yourself if you would like. But then again, they do events down at the farm, and there is just such a good community aspect to this neighborhood, and it just really adds to the whole character of this place out here.
Moving forward a little bit, let's talk about your commute when it comes to like shopping, whether it's gasoline that you need throughout the week, whether it's groceries, or whether it's like you just want to go to the mall and grab some extra. So whether it's daily needs, weekly needs, or just weekend recreation fun, let's talk about some of the surrounding areas and where you guys can go for that and how not that far it actually is.
There's a few options here. Elizabeth is an extremely small town. It has been the most rural part of the Denver metro area. It is just now really starting to get some developments that are coming in there. Elizabethians aren't the happiest about it.
There's a name for it.
There is. You've got Independence on the north side of Elizabeth, and that's going to be more of your traditional, kind of like tract homes. You got 5 builders out there, small lots. The homes all kind of look similar, but you get to be out here in the country, and there's a lot of awesome things that come with that. Now, a little bit south of where we're at here, if you go down to the Walmart at Elizabeth, again, Elizabeth is small. You've got your Walmart, you've got your Sonic drive-in, you got your Safeway. That is about it outside of kind of the historic part of Elizabeth.
Probably for the next 24 months, but as these new
Probably,
developments
yes.
come in, you're going to start getting more commercial developments that start coming in and venturing in Elizabeth.
You are. Now, the good thing about living here is that you are just as close to going to the Target and the Walmart in Parker than you are going to the Walmart in Elizabeth. So for us personally, we don't go into the town of Elizabeth at all. We do all our shopping in Parker or down in Castle Rock as well.
And what county is Elizabeth in?
Elbert County.
So it's more so Elbert County that he's speaking to versus just specifically Elizabeth. But either way, like you're not that far when it comes to overall commute. And we've been talking about Elizabeth for probably the past 12 to 14 months because you start hearing some of the things that are coming development-wise. It just takes a little bit of time as far as like if they're actually going to pull the trigger, if there's voting for it or against it, whatever it may be.
Trigger has been pulled.
It's here.
It's here.
It's coming. And listen, overall, it is good as far as for Elizabeth and just incorporating a lot of that and just maximizing maximizing. And anyone else that just wants their space, they're going to have their space.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, nothing's going away from that.
They will. So DoorDash comes out here, Uber Eats comes out here. So no
More
worries
important than you
about
might
that.
think.
It
Like
is.
I tend to DoorDash several times a week for the family. We try to eat as clean as possible, but sometimes we're just so busy.
Yeah.
What a treat. So believe it or not, when we buy home, we're just like, all right, DoorDash go there?
Yeah,
Still get Chick-fil-A?
That's how we
All
gauge
right,
it.
we're good to go. We're not too far.
It's true. It's true. Guys, you're 24 minutes from Castle Rock. That's where our office is. You're 15 to 20 minutes from Parker, downtown Parker, and then probably about 15 minutes to downtown Elizabeth. So we really want to emphasize that because you feel like you're out here. You see deer out in the yard. I'll have 10 to 15 deer in my yard every single day, but I'm still 45 minutes from downtown Denver. So this is about as far away as you can get while still feeling like you're part of everything.
Inclement weather, you're gonna have a longer driveway out here. You're gonna have more property that's out here. So personally, on your own property, you are gonna have more snow and ice to make sure that you're dealing with. So whether it's an ATV with a plow on it, or you've got a great snow blower, depending on the size of your property, that's definitely something that you're gonna want to have. Something that's great just per Colorado, and me driving out to Elizabeth for these past couple of years for clients and for this guy, you've got plenty of roadways that connect Elizabeth to Southeast Aurora, Elizabeth and Franktown to Parker. And a lot of them are like these main 2-lane roadways, right? These 2-lane highways. But as far as like how well Colorado takes care of them, they are plowed.
Oh yeah.
You are able to get around in inclement weather. You just got to make sure that your personal driveway and everything else goes well. If you have an HOA like you're over here in Fox Hill, a lot of this is going to get plowed as well. If you do not have that, then some of it might not. So you just got to make sure that whether it's all-wheel drive or just you taking care of your own property to get yourself out of the neighborhood, it's not terrible, but it is something that you're going to want to consider and think of, especially compared to like normal suburbia.
Now, another good to know sort of thing if you're buying a home out here is that most of, if not all these homes out here will be on septic tank and well versus public water and public sewer. Now, a lot of people think that there's a lot of extra work and things that go in with that. There's literally none, right? I've been on a well and septic for the past 3 years now.
It's arguably more sustainable.
I haven't had to do anything
and
with it.
less maintenance. Now, the one thing that we are going to make sure that gets done, and it also is just, I don't know if it's per law, but just per
county requires
per
septic.
county requirements. That's pretty much law, right? Like before a home is sold, not only does a septic tank have to be inspected, but it also has to be cleaned before it transfers ownership. So things like that, you're going to be starting. It'll be a clean start, pun intended.
Hey.
You're going to start with a clean slate. You're going to start with it, right? Like pun intended, you will, right? And that's just one of the things that they take care of. But arguably, it's a lot less maintenance and a lot more reliable than some things that you might have in suburbia.
Yeah, same with doing a well test. And then as far as maintenance, get the septic tank pumped every few years, but unless you have a massive family that eats a lot of food, you're probably not going to need to do it that often. It's really, really low maintenance.
I feel like he's talking about me.
No.
See how he does his thing. See how he does what he does.
That's where Will bought where he bought. She was like, man, I cannot do a septic tank. I need to be on public sewer.
No.
All right, now let's dive into schools that are out here. You don't have a lot of options. Okay, you don't have a lot of options.
Homeschool.
Yes.
Little house on the prairie.
Homeschool.
Not
Little house
true.
on the prairie.
You do have school here.
You do. But what a lot of people do is, and I've spoken to a lot of my neighbors, a lot of them go to Castle Rock or Parker, and they're doing charter schools that are out there. They're doing Montessori type of schools and STEM
And you're within
schools
20 minutes of those schools, right?
Yeah, and again, you do have like Elizabeth High School is really good, middle school is really good. We were shopping elementary schools and they seemed okay. Nothing that was completely over the top or completely bad, you know, very middle of the road.
You also just have to understand like that's what comes with maybe being a little bit more on the outskirts. Not too many people that want to be out here are necessarily overly concerned with that, as long as school districts are adequate and they've got great scores and they've got good people that are there that are teaching your kids, you're good to go. And if you want to make that 20-minute drive to a bigger school, you're more than welcome, right? But again, if you want to live like this, typically a 20-minute drive to the school for your kiddos, it's okay to have that. You're okay with that con per se because you want the lifestyle of being out here in the first place.
Well, and as these communities grow, legally they have to put in more schools, right? That's one of the increased tax dollars are in a new community is building new schools.
Isn't it like the lot 16 or like, what's that plot 16? Every 16 has to be a school.
Oh, really? Is that it? Yeah. I don't know. Sounds smart. Sounds like some cop stuff you would know.
Smarter than I look.
Now, don't think that you need to move out here and spend $2 million on a home to get some acreage. If you go in some neighborhoods that are just behind Fox Hill and just north and east of Fox Hill, you're gonna find more traditional homes that are gonna be anywhere from that 6 to 800 range.
Correct.
And you're also gonna find a lot of really, really good options right around that $1 million range, where maybe it's not an ultra modern contemporary style home like this, but it's gonna be a newer open floor plan, gorgeous landscaped home.
Like for example, we're gonna show it right now. It's a little bit outside of these two areas, but not by maybe 7 minutes. We're talking Elkhorn Ranch. Elkhorn Ranch is a great location. It's just north of both of these locations, but that's a great location as far as the examples of homes that Eli's giving when it comes to like that 800 to 1.2 range.
Yes. Guys, if you're coming out here to Colorado, a lot of people ask us, where are the hidden gems? Honestly, I haven't had a good answer because I'm like, hey, Colorado's like discovered, right? There's not a lot of up and coming places. They up and came or they're currently up and coming. Elizabeth is the one that I think a lot of people don't know about. A lot of locals don't even know how close it is.
Until now, because I can see the comments coming. We've had comments on this channel before that like, we're the sole reason why everyone's moving to Colorado.
Now my neighbors are gonna hate me now.
Now everyone knows 80,000 people work with us that come to Colorado and watch this channel. But something to give an honorable mention that is doable, and if you guys need resources for this, that number that's popping up below, we are licensed brokers here in the state of Colorado, and yes, just as much as we love making these videos, we will love more to help you with those real estate needs.
That's right.
So that number that's still up below, all the guys transfer the phone calls, text messages, and those emails. And what resource would I be talking about if you need one, because we are licensed brokers, is if you guys want to build. We can help with these new builds that are here in Fox Hill. We can help with traditional homes, absolutely, but there's also vacant land. You've got lots that are available for sale. And yes, we do have some clients that are working through the build process, and that takes anywhere from 8-9 months to a year, sometimes just over a year, depending on the size of the build. But typically 8 to 12 months right now for the market we're in right now does pretty well. So if it's something where you're not necessarily overly in a rush and you like something custom done for yourself and you'd like to find that lot that's perfect for you, that's also something that's available out here. With that being said, you guys have parts of Franktown now, you have Elizabeth, you have a little bit of Elkhorn Ranch, and you have a lot of bit of us, and we appreciate you guys watching. If you guys have any questions, remember that number that we threw up below just a second ago. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you guys very soon.
See you guys. Boom. All right.
Ooh, remember how I used to like dangerously get so close?
You still do.
It's really cool I could use a camera and do that.
I still do.
If it ever knocked you out, I wouldn't know what to
perception.
do.